Okay, so I'm so excited to do this. I am so glad Alyssa could hop on with us. She is one of the team's newest rubies, and I am seriously just so excited for her to just come on here and share all of her tips and tricks with us. So Alyssa, like I said, you should be able to unmute yourself, and I am going to pin your video, just letting you know, so it might show your face, but you can change it on your end. But I'm so excited. I can't wait to hear everything you have to say. So if you could just start by like sharing your story, because I know I probably don't know a lot of your story, but just kind of everything. I'm excited.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm Alyssa. I'm a Ruby. I've been in the business for 2 months now. I joined the last week of May. So I went executive in June and then I just went Ruby in July. But I've been in the business before. So I originally joined in February of 2019 and I hit Ruby really quickly, like in 3 weeks. So this is actually my second time going Ruby. And I just kind of didn't really stick around. It was almost like too instant for me to really appreciate like what was happening. And so I just kind of like faded out. So if it's taking you longer to hit Ruby, that's okay. That's kind of a good thing in a way. Um, but I'm a mom, so I originally joined because I wanted to pay off some credit card debt. I wasn't pregnant yet, and then I got pregnant, and now I want to stay home with my daughter. So that's kind of what brought me here. She's sitting right next to me, so I'm putting the fair warning out there that there could be temper tantrums or meltdowns. She's 8 months old tomorrow, and she's cutting 4 teeth right now, and so she is kind of a nightmare. But that's kind of my story in a nutshell.
No, I love that. And I also love like you're a mom because like one, she's the cutest freaking thing ever. She's literally so freaking adorable. So we did have some questions for you. I love like interviewing you, but you know, it's just kind of how it is. But we had some people ask like how do you stay balanced in this business, like being a mom? Because like I'm personally not a mom, but we do have like a lot of moms on the team and stuff. So like what is that like? You know, I mean, like, what is it like working this business, being a mom, and like balancing everything?
It's not super easy, I'll be honest with you. But you kind of have to just remember why you're doing it because, like, your child, the thing that's like making you want to pull your hair out, and the reason why you want to like have a drink or go to bed and not work your business is also the reason why you're working your business. So just kind of like constantly reminding yourself of why you're doing that really helps. But I feel like too, my biggest thing is having a schedule for myself. But people kept saying that to me in the beginning, and I was like, I have a kid, like, and she's 8 months old, so she's like a very crazy age. She's like crawling now, she's trying to walk, she like gets into literally everything. If she finds anything on the ground, she puts it in her mouth. So like it's not like oh, she's so cute sitting over there, or like she occupies herself. No, it's like I'm chasing her around all day. So I really realized that I had to have a schedule that was more like duration set versus time set, if that makes sense. So like I had to, sit down and work my business for an hour, but I couldn't tell myself that that was going to be between 9 and 10 in the morning, because then I'd get to 9 and 10 in the morning and my kid's screaming. So like that doesn't work. And like it would get me more off track, even trying to stick to a strict schedule. So having like a certain amount of time that you're going to do, but it's fluid throughout your day. That helps me. And then having a non-negotiable list, like I know you've all heard 6 list a bajillion times, but like have a like bare minimum 6 list that you're gonna do, even if like your house catches on fire. Like that sounds really dramatic, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, bare minimum, I'm at least getting up 5 hosts to post. Like 10's my goal, but like I will not go to bed without 5. Like I will not go to bed without posting at least one time. Like what is your absolute bare minimum? And make sure you at least stick to that. And then I have a planner. I use the Day Designer one that Shay talks about. I've actually used it for a while because I was a 3rd grade teacher. Now I do this business full time, but I was a 3rd grade teacher, so I love this planner. But I write my checklist out, like anything extra besides my non-negotiables, the night before. So like right before I go to bed, I'm like, okay, these are all the things I super need to accomplish tomorrow. And then that way, like my day is kind of already set up for me in the beginning. So that like helps me really be on track no matter what my kid's doing. Cause you never know what she's doing. And then give yourself a win early in the morning. This is like really important for me. And I don't make my like win be business related, because you can't always control your business related wins. So like for me, I feel like, excuse my language, I have my shit together though. Like if my kitchen is completely clean, like I'm like, whoa, like, hello, who's this? So I like purposefully leave my kitchen a mess at nighttime. I know that sounds so weird. And I get up and I clean it first thing in the morning, like before Grace is even awake, because I'm like, dang, I'm on fire. And it's like something I can control. It's not like me getting a customer. I can't always control that. So like, it's super like, I don't know. It just makes me feel good. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's like 7 a.m. and the kitchen's already clean. And it gives me a tangible win. And when my boyfriend comes home and the house is a disaster again, at least like the kitchen's done. And I was like, look what I did today. You don't know that I did that 5 seconds after you left for work. It's cool. So that's kind of like one thing. But mainly just remember your why and then just do it. Like, honestly, like you just have to do it. That's kind of all that it is.
No, I love that. And I love what you said about like having a schedule for yourself, but just kind of making it like a duration schedule, I guess, and not necessarily like a time. Because I mean, like I work this full time, but like let's just take today, for example. I woke up at 11:30. That was not planned. I typically wake up at 7. So when I literally woke up like 4.5 hours late, I was like, ooh, and like my whole day I was like, don't freak out, it's fine. Because like I was panicking and I was like, this sucks, like I'm literally 4.5 hours behind schedule. But like no, I wasn't. Like in my head I was, but like I just kind of started as if it was 7 a.m. and I just like went through the day like that. But like I love that you said that though, because I have so many moms that will come to me and they're like, well, like I can't make a schedule for myself because I'm a mom. And I'm like, you know what, sis, I understand. Like I don't, but like just get your sixes done, you know, because I'm like, I don't even know how to help because it's just like the total, like you said, like the craziness of it all. So I actually really like that. I haven't heard that word, I guess, like used in that way before, but I really like that. And then I also like how you said doing the planner the night before. I have like a business calendar over here on my wall, and then literally everything is on my planner on my phone. But other than that, like on like the days where I know I'm going to be busy, I will sit out the night before. And this was full at the beginning of July. So, you know, sticky notes. And I just set out like what I have to get done. So I love that. And also I'm going to answer Kelsey's question in the chat real quick. And Alyssa, if you have anything you want to say to that, you definitely can. Being a morning person is so hard because I am not a morning person. And like, honestly, it's just one of those things that you kind of have to get into the routine of. Like there's a book called Miracle Morning. Don't quote me on that. I think that's the book. And it's such a good book to kind of show you like the perspective of what it's like waking up early. And they wake up at like 4 or 5. And like, that's a little too early for me because I'm still awake at like 2, 3 in the morning. So definitely read that. That could probably help too. But Alyssa, if you have anything to say on that, definitely do. And the next thing I wanted to ask was like, how do you stay organized with everything, like with potentials, all of the different things like that?
Yeah. So as far as getting up early, you kind of have to force yourself to do it. But I also give myself a lot of grace. Like I know if I'm too tired that like it's going to almost ruin me more. I don't know if you guys can hear my kid, but she is like being insane over here. So I'm so sorry. But anyways, like if it's going to make it worse for me to get up early, then I don't. But like 9 days out of 10, I do because I know I just need to get my stuff done before she gets up. But staying organized. Okay, so I'm a green red. So I like to be really organized and I like always switch up my organizing like all the time. So it's kind of insane. But I use the same like checklist and I put my follow-ups in here that aren't like just normal standard follow-ups. So like if someone's like, oh, I'm going to buy on Thursday or whatever, like anything important like that, I put in my planner. Otherwise, like I make sure I sweep through everyone on Fridays, like I think we all do. So that's big for me, using my planner. I write my host of posts down in my planner. And then I have like a little binder too. And I keep all my potentials in here. So Shane, I actually think I just stole this from you. I just started using this little one. Is this yours? So I have like this one, and this is what I've always used, and it's like a lot more complicated, and I write them all in here. So I'm trying out hers to see if it simplifies my life a little bit. But like mine before was just all my potentials. I had like the date, their name, the products that they were interested in, and then I had a box for like I could tally how many follow-ups. and then a box for like any notes about them, which I feel like is really helpful, but it's also a little insane. So like, you don't have to be that crazy, but really just keeping them all in one spot is what's important. Like sometimes I'm like writing on the back and like just free for all in it. As long as they're written down, that's what you need. Cause then as soon as, you know, a big sale hits and you can go through, and then I highlight them as soon as I turn them into a customer or distributor. And then I usually like clean them up every month or so. That way all my highlights are out of there. And then I keep like all my charts in my binder. And I think that's kind of it for like staying organized. I'm more of like a pen to paper person, but I like to have digital things too. So I kind of like mix and match. And I take pictures of a lot of my stuff, so it's like backed up. And yeah, I feel like that's it. Is there any other organizing things I should be touching on?
I mean, anything that you think of, or if anyone in the chat, like, or anyone on this in the chat, if you guys have like a specific organizing thing, definitely ask her, because I could talk about organizing for a solid 6 hours. So, you know, like whatever you want to do. But I will say, because like that potential tracker she's using is mine. You do not, I repeat, do not have to print that out. You don't have to get all fancy on it. If like she said, everything she does, I do the same thing, but mine's all on my iPad. So, and she has hers in a almost said it in a calendar, but in a planner, calendar, same difference. And then like on top of that, like before I had an iPad, or even before I spent the $10 on a planner, I just got like a journal, like a literal spiral journal, and I wrote out these columns because I wasn't going to spend the money to print it or to do anything like that. So I mean, I really like that though, because I feel like it just kind of depends like on you, and it's just like finding that system. And also someone in the chat asked if you were green, but you're red green, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I'm like green primarily, and then my red is like 5% behind or something. And then I'm quite a bit of blue, and I'm literally, you guys, 2.7% yellow.
It's actually really funny because mine's the exact same. Like it's like 50-50 green, red, and then it's like a little bit of yellow, and then like I'm negative blue. So I love that though, because mine's literally the same. Okay, so the next thing, and like I said, if any of you guys have any questions, please throw them in the chat. I have them up, so I'll be like, well, oh my gosh, looking at it and stuff. But the next thing I wanted to ask you was, what are your biggest tips on going Ruby? I mean, there's 30 people on this. Well, I guess 29, including us two. And if you guys aren't Ruby and above, then like we are going to get you there. And I also had something else I wanted to add on after you said that, but I had to say it so I don't forget. So what are your tips on going Ruby?
Honestly, just know what you're doing. Like, you have to know your numbers, because if you don't and you're just kind of like nothing happens. Like, you can think that something's going to happen, but it just doesn't. Like, know your numbers. And if you don't know how to do that, then ask your upline, because someone will help you. But I literally update my charts. This is probably really obnoxious in the green in me, but every single time I get a customer, like I erase and I adjust. And like anytime one of my girls tells me they got a customer, like I do it right then and there. Like I will update my charts 45 times a day. I don't enroll 45 customers a day, but I would if I did enroll 45 customers a day. So definitely knowing what you're doing and just kind of having that no excuse mentality a little bit, like this is just getting done no matter what kind of thing. Like if you're like, oh, I really want to go Ruby, that if you say I want to go Ruby this month, you're not going Ruby this month. Like you need to just decide that you're doing it. And I never really understood what that meant when people said it. But like, it's something you literally feel inside of you where you're like, I'm going to like throw up if I don't go Ruby this month. Like you just kind of have to like make yourself obsess over it a little bit to like really grind in, and then like shouting it out on social media. You guys, if I tell someone I'm doing something, I would rather like cut off my left arm than not do something I just shouted out to the world that I'm going to do. So like, that was big for me when I first started the business. I purposefully did not shout out my goals because I was like, well, I don't hit that. Well, guess what? I didn't hit that because I wasn't even brave enough to shout it out on social media. So be serious about it. Be as organized as you can, put in the work every day, and just be consistent, because if you don't do your 6 list every day, you're going to get behind. Each day that you don't at least do something for your business, like you're taking a step back every single time you do that. And you can only catch up so much. Like, there's only so much volume you can bring in on the last day of the month. It's a lot, but if you didn't work all month, it's not enough. Let me tell you that. I'm trying to think if there was anything else. Make sure you plug into people around you. So like, feel the fire from your upline, but plug into those people that are on your chart too. And like, especially if you have someone working, like spend time with them, pump them up, get them excited. Like I've got one of my newbies on here right now who's going to go Ruby, and she's literally been in the business for a week. She joined last Monday and she already has her shopping spree and 2 distributors. And I'm like, all right, you're just going to go Ruby this weekend, I guess. But like spend time with those people. But don't drag people along either. If you don't have workers, then just go do it yourself and stay close to the fire. Like you don't need to beg anyone, but make sure that you're like paying attention to those people who are willing to work for you, because you'll lose them if you aren't. And then you're just hurting yourself more.
No, I love that. And like, I feel like that's probably like one of the best things you could have said to that, because like that was my biggest thing in the beginning, was like I like just didn't talk to anyone. I was just like, goal oriented, but not necessarily with the people oriented on the back of that. So I love that, because like plugging into your team or even like your leaders, like it is like that's the biggest thing. Like that is why like I personally love doing work Zooms like all day long if I can, because like that gives me that time to like meet some of you guys and work with you guys. I mean, like that's how I met Alyssa, was literally on work Zoom, and like we are on the same team, but she is not on my team, but like we connected literally because of work Zoom. And I could give you guys a list of people that I've met like that, and it just honestly, it just makes it the best thing. I know personally I try to get on work Zoom every day, unless it's like my Sabbath or something like that. But I mean, in the chats, we try to share like whenever we're on work Zoom and stuff. I personally Zoom every day. I know not everyone's like that, because not everyone like can work this full time and everything. But if I can get onto Zoom all day long, I literally would. So I love that you said that. And then, oh, I almost forgot to say this. Talking about Ruby, you guys, and like this, like once I finally like kind of connected the dots to this, like this made the biggest difference in like my personal business. And you guys, every permission, oh my gosh, every promotion is made up of rubies, okay? Obviously, to go emerald, all you need to do is pop 2 rubies. Like to go diamond, 3 rubies, double, 5, 6, maybe 8. I think there's 8. Yeah, something like that. It's like 3, 5, I don't know. I can't add. But every promotion is made up of rubies, you guys. So like once you go ruby, you automatically can transition your brain into saying, okay, who am I going to help go ruby? And like I mentally know, I think I have like 6 pres charts going on behind me over here. But on this specific chart, for me to promote to presidential, I think it's 19 rubies. I'm not going to quote myself. I think it's around 19. So in my head, I know like, okay, 19 people to go ruby, and then like our team goes presidential. And like when you think about it like that, 19 rubies is nothing. And especially if you just kind of like break it down to like 1 or 2 at a time, like that is seriously so simple. So kind of connecting my brain into like looking at it like that, it just kind of helped. And especially with me being green, and I'm sure Alyssa can probably relate to this, but like over analyzing like literally details and all of the things, 19 rubies, that's all I'm thinking about, and it just kind of helps our brains a little bit too. But the next thing I wanted to ask was like, now that you're ruby, like what are your goals now? Like what are you pushing for? What are you like doing to achieve those goals? All of the things.
I'm doing the same thing. Like, I swear to you, well, I don't swear because I'm not there yet, but what you're doing to go Ruby is what you would do eventually to go Ambassador. Like, it's all the same thing. Like, our top leaders give us the tips that they use every single day. It's just about being consistent. So, like, this month, I am pushing for Diamond. See, we're doing it. Okay, just saying that. So it's a big goal, but have big goals for yourself. Like, don't let yourself stop dreaming. Like, even before I hit Ruby, as I started to get close, I knew what was next. Like, you can't ever like sit still, because the second that you sit still is when you stop moving, right? Which is obvious the way I said that, but like, you're not moving forward in your business anymore. So you have to constantly dream in a healthy way. Like, I make dream boards all the time. Like, I update one probably like every couple weeks, because like it just like reminds me what I'm working towards. And you're always moving further towards your goals anyways, or you should be. So updating that. But talking about your future too, like especially with the people like you're really close with, like my boyfriend and I, we talk about what we're going to do short-term, long-term all the time. Like when I'm going to bed at night, I'm talking about what I'm doing when I'm diamond. I'm talking about what I'm going to do when I'm double, talking about what I'm going to do when I'm an ambassador, like constantly just having that mindset that you're moving forward all the time. Yeah, I feel like that's kind of the biggest thing. And then putting in the work, like dream, work, dream, work, dream, work. You can't be all work because then you're not ever going to have like a place where you're going, but you can't just dream all day because then you're just going to be in the same spot next year thinking about what you wanted last year. So dream, work, dream, work.
No, I love that. And I love that you said it like that, because that literally happened to me after I went triple. I was like, okay, you know, VIP leader over here, I've made it. And I was like, I don't want anything else. Like, I'm fine, you know? And it like literally, like I stopped dreaming, therefore I stopped working as hard. And it literally, like, it was mind blowing to me. Like once I finally got out of dream board and I was like, okay, I want to help 3 people go double diamond. That sounded freaking insane. But you know what? I have 2 and I'm about to have 1 more, you know? And it was like literally just like even like the little things, like I know having a double diamond may seem crazy to some of you guys. Just think of it as a ruby, $500 in fast starts, you know, like it doesn't have to be these crazy goals, but at the same time, you want those crazy goals. And I know, like I love like talking to Jade Hooper, and also I'm just letting you know, Alyssa, one of my girls messaged me and she was like, this girl sounds just like Jade Hooper. And I'm like, I know, like homegirl's literally going to be the next Jade Hooper. So just had to shout you out. But, like it's always just like dreaming bigger, and like it's terrifying. Yeah, like it's like crazy looking at my dream board saying like, oh my god, I'm gonna like buy a house, like that freaks me out. But looking at that and like thinking about it, it literally just like continues to drive me every single day. So I love that so much. And so this is the last question I have. So literally, if any of you guys have any questions for her, please throw them in the chat. She is amazing. I guess I could think of another thing. I'm just basically going to ask for like any other tips, but I mean, like, what are you doing to enroll? And I know I probably know the answer because it's probably the one thing we all do, but I just want to be able to hear it from you. Like, what are some tips you have for like enrolling and things like that?
Yeah, enrolling just host to post, honestly. Like everyone says that because it's the truth. Like I know when I'm not doing enough host to post is because I'm not enrolling, like flat out. And like you're doing it, you have to be consistent with it. So like the more you do, the better results you're gonna get, and you have to do it every day because you can't just do 20 host to post one day and then not do it for a week and expect results. So just like doing that. And then Lexi asked how I'm staying organized with them. I do probably what a lot of people do. I write them in my notebook. So I write them down, their names down when they say, yes, I'll post for you. Or they say yes after I send the message. So like they say yes, I send them the message. Then I write their name down. And then when they post, I highlight. That way I kind of know. And then I do collections on Facebook. So I add them all to a collection and I save mine by month. That just seems to be the easiest thing for me. So like I have an August one, like I did a July one. I don't know. I know some people do it by type, but month seems to work best for me. And then one tip that I don't even remember where I heard this from, but it like changed my life. So I'm going to tell you guys just in case, even though everyone might know it. When I like go to add someone from a host post, so like they commented on a coffee host post and I like add them, I obviously don't send the message until after they've accepted the friend request, but I put the message I'm going to send them in the bar. That way, like anytime I get a friend request, I go to message and it's already sitting there, like what I'm supposed to say to them. So when I'm doing like mass host to post, I don't have to remember like who's who or anything. It's already sitting there. I've already changed it to their name and I literally am just like ding, like send, and it's so quick and so easy. And yeah, I don't know why I did not know that a long time ago, but that like changed my world. So I can like just do them like super, super quick. And I don't really even have to think about it. And then doing giveaway host to post, if you don't do that, which you probably all are, do that. That's how I make sure I always have people. And then just adding to your network every day, I feel like is so important, especially when you're trying to promote. Like you need new people in your network all the time. I was telling my girls the other day, like if you have 10 people in a room, like you can only tell them to buy your coffee so many times. And even if you get all 10 to buy your coffee, then what? Like you need more people in your room. So, you know, kick them out and bring new ones in. Yeah, that's big for me. And I always tell my girls, like, adding to your friends list too, especially like I work Facebook mainly. You can do that all the time. And you should be breaking it down into smaller increments so you're not getting blocked or anything. So like literally every time I go pee, I add 10 friends. Like if I sit on the couch, which I'd like literally never do because I pretty much work my business all the time, I add 10 friends. Like anytime I do something like dumb throughout my day, like I just add 10 friends. Like, and it makes sure that I'm always adding like 100 to 200 friends a day sometimes because, yeah, Kate. So, I just feel like some people don't know about their requests. So like when, when you message someone when you're not friends with them yet and it like goes to their request folder, I don't mess around with that. Ooh, good
I
point.
also wanted to add to what Kate asked and how you answered, Alyssa. If you message too many people that you are not friends with, Facebook will block you, and they like block you for like days to even weeks at a time, or they'll just take away your Facebook. So yeah, like even if you have to do it like that, or like find like whatever system you need to do, I would try not to message people before you're friends with them, because like if you do it too much and like too consistently at the same time, it will like throw you in Facebook jail, is like what we would say. So I would also just wait to do that as well. And then another thing I wanted to add is I do this, and if any of you guys like take a Sabbath or take like an unplug, whatever, like whatever you want to call that for you, do not log out, or do not log out of your social media. So if you log out, I learned this the hard way, it will remove all of those. So I came back for my first Sabbath, and I like went back and I had like 50 new friends, and none of them had messages saved. And I was like, wait, like what the heck? And then I did it the next week and the same thing happened. And then I just started turning off the notifications instead of logging out, and everything was still there. So that's one thing I would add, just like to be careful of everything, like be mindful of it as well, because that was terrible having to figure out like who the mutual friend was, to then figure out what the host post was about. And then if they even commented on it, it was just from something else. Like it was a literal disaster. So I would recommend doing that. And also, I did have another question just because of something you mentioned. I just wanted to ask. I keep thinking of different things, and this is probably what's going to happen. You were talking about how like you work your business all day and like you never sit on the couch. So I'm kind of like, I was just wondering like, what does that actually look like? Because like I feel you, but I also remember like when I first started, if someone would have said that, I would have been like, girlfriend, I ain't got time to work this all day. So what does that look like for you? Like working this business all day, basically.
I don't know. I just do it. Like, I know that I'm going to get distracted so many times in a day because I have a kid who's whining or needs a diaper change, or she eats a bottle like 9,000 times a day, all that kind of stuff. So I sit at my desk all day long. So that way, when I do have a moment when she's not having a temper tantrum, she's really a good kid. I keep like talking about her like she's terrible, but you know what I mean? Anyways, like I sit here that way when I can focus, I'm focused. Like I don't take time to go sit on the couch and watch TV because that's already taking more out of my day, and I don't have time to take out of my day. And when I was working full time doing this business, like when I got home, I sat at my desk until dinner time. Like, because even if I decide to do something else and I'm goofing off for a minute, like if I'm at my desk, that's reminding me to get back like to my work. If I sit on the couch, I'll fall asleep. Like, so that's like not something I do. Like until dinner is made and I'm eating dinner, I go sit on the couch. And that's that. But yeah, so I wouldn't say I'm like literally working for like 14 hours, like nonstop at the computer being crazy. Like, no, don't kill yourself. But like just being intentional about what you're doing. That way when you do get pulled out, you can come back.
What are you doing? No, I love that, because that's honestly kind of what I figured she was gonna say. And that's, I don't know if any of you guys like thought about that, but like I just know like whenever I would have first started, I would have been like, dude, like I could not sit at my desk for 24 hours a day, like absolutely not, because that's how I am too. Like I say I work this all day, but like my all day is like running in and out of here. Oh, I look cute in this lighting, take a random picture, like different things like that. Like I'm not just like literally grinding at my computer for 18 hours a day. So I just kind of wanted to see your perspective on that too, because like I understand, and like I say I work this all day, but like if I told you guys my screen time, it's like 10 hours. That's like a full-time job kind of, you know what I mean? So it's just kind of different like that. The last question I have, and hopefully if I don't think about anything else, is are you doing personal development? And if you are, what are you reading, listening to, all of that jazz?
So I do personal development like 8 hours a day. Like I have to be doing something nonstop. So, but I also consider like Zoom's personal development. Like you're on here right now learning about something you can be doing for your business. Like that's personal development. And especially when you're new, this is the best personal development you can be doing. So like now as like I'm growing my business, you know, I do other things, but if I'm being honest, I don't have like one good personal development book to give you because I listen to something different like every day. So, like I do. Oh, someone said she's cute and then she did that. She must have read that. You're so crazy. Okay. But no, I switch all the time. I like get stuff on Audible all the time, but like I'll listen to like a chapter one day and then I go to like another book another day. Like just something to put in your brain. But like YouTube Zooms are honestly my favorite. Like I read books all the time too. Like I'm reading a book that actually Cami, our CEO's daughter, wrote like 10 years ago. It's like called How to Retire Your Husband with Network Marketing or something like that. And she like wrote it back when she was a Black Diamond, like actually working the business. But like there's so many different fun things like girl wash your face. I mean, you could literally find a million things. It honestly doesn't matter. But my one tip would be like find what you don't like and read that. I know that sounds weird, but like for me, time management was always something I still struggle with, but that's like the biggest thing I work on because that's what I need help with. And so I don't want to read a book that's going to tell me to do stuff I don't want to do, but I know that's what's going to make me grow. So don't like find something that you're like, oh, I'm going to love this because it's all about being organized and I'm so organized. Like, no, find something that you're not good at. That way it helps you grow.
Yeah, I love that because that was one thing that Shay actually told me a long time ago because like my main colors, like I have no yellow. So she was like, maybe you should read books about like, you know, like friendships and like all those kind of things. And I was like, why? Why would I do that? You know? But like once I started reading books, like I don't know what the name of it was, but it was like, I feel so dumb. It was like how to make friends. Like it was something like that. It was like a John Maxwell book. And it was talking about like just like how to like bring your business and like how to win with people, I think is actually what it was called. But it was a great book and I loved it. But it literally taught me how to win with people. And because like that was something I needed to work on. And like, yeah, I didn't like the book because it was literally telling me all of these things I was bad at. And I was like, this is sad, you know, but that's what I have to grow on. And like that was like one of the really big things like stood out to me. So I love that you said that. That was really good. Also, someone asked in the chat, how do you find people to add on Facebook?
Oh, okay. I add people that I just feel like I'd get along with. It's really that simple. Like, but I also try to be smart about it because sometimes I'm like, "Ooh, that girl's so cute. I want to be friends with her," but like, she probably doesn't want to be friends with me because we probably don't have that much in common. So like, I try to be intentional. Like, okay, oh, she has a young baby. Like, that is something that I'm gonna get along with. You know, like I can connect to, you know, teachers because I was a teacher and I quit my job now, but you know, moms, things like that. Think about what the main things that you post about, not just you like, but you have to think about like who's going to connect with you by your posting. So like, yeah, that's kind of it. Like, and I'll like, if I find someone I like, I'll go to their friends and go through there. And I just kind of get lost. And I really try to get like to different sections on Facebook because you'll notice like the people you may know is great, but then all of a sudden you have like 200 mutual friends with someone that you don't even know because like you're adding people all in the same network. I like doing different groups on Facebook too. Like I'm in mom groups, but they're very like touchy about you adding friends from there now. So like I'll find someone I like, and then I'll go to their friends, kind of the same thing. That way I'm not like just adding everyone in a group. But even like as you build relationships with people in groups, they'll start to add you first. But yeah, like I said, I get along with moms for this reason.
No, I love that though. And that's kind of what I was thinking too. It's just like kind of the people that like you just like, you know, you're going to connect with. And also this was the book. It's 25 Ways to Win with People. You guys can obviously see I really liked it. But that was the book. I just wanted to be able to share it with you guys. And also, someone in the chat asked, what do you need to become Ruby, like a certain amount of DTs or with LCs? So for Ruby, all you need is 3 distributors. So 3 people to join this business with you, just like you joined with someone else. And there is not it's not a specific amount of LCs, but so each of those people need 400 in sales. So like 1, 2, 3, each of them need 400, and you personally need 2,000 over your group. So there are so many different videos and stuff that we could like talk about to kind of go off of that, but just think of it as your first goal. If you haven't earned your shopping spree, get your shopping spree. Second goal is charting for Ruby, and I actually have like a couple different videos I could send to you guys. They're like super quick in short YouTube videos that I made. But there are honestly so many different ways to more or less just kind of like break down that goal for you. So this is what I made to send to my new distributors to get charted for Ruby. And this is what I send them to watch once they are charted for Ruby. So that's just me kind of breaking down the chart, just to kind of make it a little bit more simpler. But so you need 2,000 in sales as a total, like I said. So you have 4 people. So that's 4 people having 500 in sales. I have a calculator. I'm not doing this in my head. I didn't want y'all to think too highly of me. And then for each of those like 4 people, you only need 500 in group volume. So breaking it down, that's 9 orders of 60 BV for each person. So 9 orders, 60 BV for 4 people, and you are going to go Ruby. And like, that's how simple it can be. And you can break that down with 45 for a pick 3 order, or however you need to. I know one of my girls breaks it down by 27 because that's like our lowest BV. So anything above that is just going to be like extra per se. And I really like that tip that she gave as well. But I think that's everything. And if you guys, like I said, if you don't have any more questions, or Alyssa, if you don't have anything else to share, I think that's it. But I appreciate you so much for doing this. Also, your baby is seriously so cute. But yeah, I appreciate it so much. And I'm going to go ahead and stop this recording.